Hey everybody, thank you for coming back to Confessions of a Cheater. This is episode 9. We talk about something that's happening currently, or more of something that happened more recently actually, whereas the other episodes were based off of past events that were about 2 years ago now. So, um this is more of a insight. I'm truly giving you the tea, okay? I don't really open up like this, so consider yourself lucky, okay? But I wrote an episode on something that was going on recently, and it taught me a lot about myself, and it forced me to change because I had no choice but to look at myself and ask myself, is this acceptable? So I hope you enjoy it. Um, I definitely enjoyed writing it. It's kind of funny to me. Of course, they all were funny. They all were funny to me, but I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get something from it. I'll see you later. I was offered a rose, but rejected it because I was familiar with the stem. Instead of pricking myself again, I'd rather just pick a different flower. Maybe a lavender this time. Four of Cups energy. I'd have to admit, though, I do love the taste of my own blood, learning my lessons head on, sacrificing everything in my 3D world to find love. And episode 9 is about ending cycles and how the new journey of celibacy arises. Sexual healing is needed in the community. People get horny and just be doing anything. This repeats itself in history, physically and spiritually, but we never take accountability. We live out in our trauma until we wake up to our higher path, just to look back and see we knocked down a few things in our past. Let me tell y'all a story between a lavender and I. The color purple reminds me that I need to use my intuition about her. If it wasn't for a friend of mine telling me not to do it, who knows how much trouble I would have found myself into. Working at Walmart really helped settle some things in. Number one, I do not take direction well. And number two, never sleep with your coworkers. I knew number two too well, but then again, I like to learn my lessons the hard way. I'm a Scorpio, can't you tell? I have to die in order to learn what the lesson was. And what my Walmart coworker was an Aries. Everything screams, hell no. But guys, it's been a while. Anyway, on my first day, I was stocking those insulated cups on aisle H1. She stops me and goes, "You smoke?" I said, "Smoke what?" Because you gotta be sure sometime. She chuckles and says, "Girl, meet me in the back after work." I said, "Okay." She's telling me the tea on the managers, but I couldn't care less because I'm just here for a check. The next time I see her, she's questioning my sexuality, wondering what I identify as in my type. I told her I had a boyfriend, which technically wasn't a lie, but to my surprise, she had one too. I wouldn't have guessed by the way she came at me, as if she was the most single person that ever walked this earth. Turns out, on my first day, her boyfriend saw me and automatically got jealous over her. He started asking too many questions, then claimed he was having dreams about me. I thought how weird, since I never even said a word to Shorty. Is someone using their intuition against me? Or maybe God is just exposing the opportunities his girlfriend is proposing she wants to do to me. When I was younger, I was able to do these stupid connections of lust. But now that I am awakening into myself, I wouldn't dare put my body through this much stress again. It's pointless, a waste of time and anxiety. It seems as if my coworker loved the drama. And once I removed myself, she wanted to too, so she can get her story straight about us. I entertained her, I'm not gonna lie. My spirit told me all about the girl he kept on the side, so in my mind, I got the green light. Can't break up a happy home when your girl's telling me all of y'all problems. Do I regret it? No. I realized she was the narc all along. dragging that poor boy around, but that's what happens when you need a place to crash. You find the most vulnerable ass to grab. He'll learn just as I did. They were perfect for each other. But as far as me, it would have been anybody in that hot seat. That I know for sure. On my side, it's been a while, and I didn't care who it was as long as I was satisfied. I thought to myself, that's not cute. And I'm responding out of trauma by being on the other end of the karma. From the cheating to the sexual desire, it was too much for me. But I'm glad I am a retired cheater, for temptation is hard to get rid of. Miss Scorpio needed to know to never do it again. Lesson learned. Check. One day, the Aries came over. It was cold as heck in the middle of a Texas winter. I'm talking nose dripping, ashy hands, lip quivering cold. And it doesn't help we've been playing with cardboard boxes all night long. Next thing you know, she's in my bed, and she doesn't seem nervous at all, like how she said in those text messages. Something tells me this ain't her first time doing this with a coworker, but then again, it ain't mine, but not at this damn job. She's kissing and sucking up on my neck for 40 minutes straight. I made sure not to do anything, for I knew it was my last time ever being caught in this vulnerable headspace. When it's time to get out, I get up and turn the alarm off. She goes, "You're not gonna give me a kiss?" I honestly didn't want to. The guilt from her boyfriend sunk in the night prior. To be honest, I'm not even attracted to her. I'm just here for my selfish ways. I'm this far, so I might as well give her what she came here for. I kissed her, but it was more like a long, drawn-out peck. There were no sparks, no butterflies, and no rivers nearby. It felt like a waste of time. We kissed for like 5 seconds, and I'm pushing both of us down because this kiss kind of dry. Like, spice it up a little. She got 2 kids, and you telling me she don't know how to kiss? Red flag. I gave up. I got up and escorted her out. She's texting me hard eyes while I know her boyfriend is nearby. It disgusted me. I couldn't even reply. Is this how I felt back in my cheating days? What about how my ex felt when she was dragging me all along and lying to my face? I remember when she was in the hospital with me on Christmas Day, she looked at me and said, "I think we have a lot in common on the topic of sexual desires and how I didn't handle my time properly. Doing things just because, following that urge, scratching that itch. Deep down, both of us, we knew we'd turn into a bitch if we can't release what is being held in. Yet we never broke up. The question is, when and where did this urge begin? The unhealthy spirit needs to prowl to whoever can fill that void up in the moment, and you wake up back to yourself. Each time brings a different emotion. I used to tell the Aries to delete her text messages. She would reply with a solid no. He doesn't go through my phone anyway. I rolled my eyes and replied, that doesn't mean he won't. You're giving him a reason to. And y'all, tell me why she never deleted him. She wanted him to find out. She needed him to break up with her, because if not, she wasn't going to. Granted, I don't check phones either, but if this man is telling you he had dreams about infidelity from day one, you gotta use common sense in a situation like this. Again, it would have been anybody. And I guess that's what cheaters do. She said I jinxed it, but I know who I am. Before this went down, there was a conversation on if she was going to leave old dude for me. That's when I said, hold up, shorty. I don't think that's a good idea. But then she told me to think hypothetically. Fast forward to when he went through her phone and happened to find out about us. When her boat sank and she acted as if there was nothing to change in her relationship. Manipulated that poor man, causing him to turn all his hate towards me. He said to her, I forgive you. I just don't trust Reese. He didn't trust Reese, but Rainbow knew what was going on. Did he not read the text messages of hints Rainbow left for him all along? I left clues, dragged out certain questions, so he could read how she truly felt about him. I learned you can't tell nobody anything when they have their rose-colored glasses on. Instead, he said I was the devil for tricking her into kissing me. All I could do was laugh, but nothing was funny when she started to blame me too, as if I was the one who initiated this harassment. She was on the phone with some dude who wanted her too and tells me, man, I can't do what you do. Huh? You can't cheat on your own boyfriend again? I'm truly confused. How'd I become the dirty one when I sleep alone at night without anyone? I said I have a man. Technically, mind your business. Do I sleep peacefully? Yes, and I deserve to. So what does she mean by she can't see how I do it when she did it too? She was the one who told me to kiss her. She was the one texting me. Apparently, another coworker initiated, which pissed me off because why are people in my business? That doesn't matter to me though because the Aries finished it. It's bad enough he sees us walking out of work at the same time. Now he's saying I'm the devil. He's a Christian and does everything correct by God's eyes, using a scared manipulation tactic against me but towards her to make him seem superior. But the three of us know his foundation can't be that strong if I can huff and puff down his house so quickly that's obviously made out of straws. It struck me. I had to sit back and think of who the devil really was because I can take accountability in my fault of entertaining his support he calls a girlfriend. I am the devil, yet stopped the interactions before it got too far. I'm the devil because I practiced magic through the approval of God. I'm the devil because I entertained her, yet was I not the one being tempted? It's interesting to think about how his Christian eyes viewed his reality. Because if this didn't happen, I wouldn't have wanted to go celibate. I wonder if the devil ever gave up and said, okay, God, I get it. I surrender this. It's not fun no more. I want to come home. I have a theory about the whole virgin mom and rising again to go back to the home of heaven, but I'll save that for another podcast. Y'all not really ready for the depths of my intuition. Hey guys, thank you for listening. I hope you truly enjoyed it. I'm realizing even as I'm recording this that I'm maturing in my poetry and my, I guess, creativity, and I'm just really grateful for how this turned out. I think when I first decided to do Confessions of a Cheater, um, dang, I think this had to be like as soon as I found out, so like Valentine's Day, of 2023. So 2 years ago. Yeah, so and to see it finally wrapping up, it's surprising. I was thinking last night, like, wow, I really did it. It took a while. It took 2 years, and it took about maybe I started writing in like October. So that's what, yeah, about 6 months. It took me about 6 months to finish it. So God is so good. God is real great all the time. I couldn't have done it without them. This episode is actually pretty funny though because I wanted to show you guys that some things aren't really all mistakes. People make conscious decisions. I went into this situation making conscious decisions, and consciously I knew not to pursue too far. You know, like I felt like okay, a kiss was okay. Like I said, God told me He had another girl on the side too, and it was so funny because we were at lunch one time, and she was telling me about it, and I was like, yeah. So who's the other girl at the other Walmart? And she looked at me. She was like, "Don't play with me." And I said, "What you mean? Like, huh?" And she was just like, "No, because I asked him about her. I asked him about her." And I said, "Oh, okay. So confirmation. Like, I don't really care to know what was going on, but there is another girl at a different Walmart. So bet." Like so I'm serving karma, so him getting mad and him quote unquote having dreams, it didn't really affect me because it's kind of just like, okay, you're kind of, I've been through this, I've been there, done that, and you're kind of just getting this, y'all gonna break up anyway. Like I said, he just needed a place to stay, and she was the most vulnerable because, not to spill her tea too much, but it's not like y'all know her. But it definitely made me want to go celibate. So I am 1 year celibate in March. Yay. I got a candle and I made a video. If you guys want to check it out, it's definitely on my YouTube. So I am 13 months celibate, and I was actually just watching a video on Scorpios being celibate because that's a big thing for us because we're known for being so sexual. And it's not even that Scorpios are sexual, it's just you have to be a certain person, you have to carry a certain energy, you have to make us feel safe in order to get there. And that's why Scorpio sex is so pleasurable to the public, because we can create that scene. But now that I've taken myself out of the world in that way, and I've been harvesting it it definitely makes me make choices quicker, clarity is quick. I don't have to sit there and pray and pray and pray and wish people away and do protection all the time. Like, it's not that at all. Like, my energy is my energy. Yeah, I've been dating around, but I've been more open to communication. I've been more emotional, which I think is good because it sheds a lot of old trauma from your past. I mean, it sucks that, you're going through it with somebody else, but I'd rather go through with somebody else than, the person that I'm gonna spend my life with, because then, like, they're gonna hold all that. Like, you're gonna see me cry early in the relationship. Like, that's crazy. Like, no, I'd rather get all the emotions out early. But as I was writing this, I was thinking about it, like, emotionally. When you do date people and we're going through this, and this is Confessions of a Cheater. um I wrote down here, why did I cheat? Like, right now, I technically wasn't the cheater, but I did entertain somebody that was in a relationship. So I understood, but why would I put myself in there? Why would I allow somebody to feel what I just went through? What I'm saying, what I'm writing about. So, Confessions of a Cheater, why did I cheat? Why did I look elsewhere? And I honestly believe is because that sexual safe space wasn't as safe as I wanted it to be. It wasn't. I said that in the last episode, if you, or the last couple episodes, if you were watching or listening more. But it wasn't a safe space. I couldn't really be myself. I didn't feel open enough, and that blocked me off. So imagine being that, like, in a relationship but being happy everywhere else. You hear about that 80/20 rule, and it feels like that 20 rule had a lot to do with sex, and that sucks. So I really decided to do a lot of shadow work. I wanted to deep dive into God and my past and my future, to see where I'm headed in life and what I can do to shed that. And the answer that I got was to pretty much stand in my divine feminine. Now, a lot of people think, okay, divine femininity, you think like, okay, wild and free and creative, but a lot of people don't see that matching partner. And right now, I feel like I've been living wild and free for the past couple of years. I've been living in my divine feminine, but I've also manifested a lot of things that are going to come to me. And the things that are going to come to me are not in my preferred category. So it's more of, okay, God, do I want to continue to live how I've been living, or do I want to change and receive what you have for me? And this change has always been an option. Thank God for free will, because if not, I would have been burned to the stake the second I would have made the other decision. But thank you, Jesus. Saved my sins and no longer gotta choose. We free willing over here. So I lived that life, and to be honest, now that I'm looking into the future, I don't want to live how I'm living right now, and I choose to change. I've been seeing 555 for months now, and now it finally makes sense, and I stopped seeing it. Actually, it was somebody's phone number, and they stopped texting me yesterday, like, randomly, and it's crazy. It's April 1st. So I'd like to turn over a new leaf. I want to stand in my true divine feminine power, still be wild and free, but also taken care of and secure. So um that means a lot. That means that I have to shed a lot of what I know and relearn a lot of things. And it's hard. It's like a child, learning how to walk. You have to learn how to be a woman, and be present in the eyes of God, but also have discernment, because not every God is your God. So it's more of just this respectful path that I'm happily to choose. I can see myself in all white with a head covering, like being baptized and then baptizing people, because that's my dream. My dream is to be in the islands, and to have my own little hut, and invite you guys and cleanse you guys and send you back to America. So that's my dream, and I feel like every day I'm getting closer to it as I wake up. So it's definitely a dream come true. thank you guys for coming. You know, it's been a wild ride, and guess what? The next episode is the last one. We are on episode 10, which is all about reflection, you know, and I guess I can do a poem for it. I was just gonna talk, but I'll do a little poem for it. And I hope to see you guys there. And thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate you. It I hope to see you in season 2 though. Definitely, I'm doing a like what do you call it? Like season 2 is more for you guys. You know, I want to take an episode and dig into your trauma and heal you guys. And I can write a poem for you. You can write a poem for me. We can be creative. It doesn't even have to be a poem, okay? We can draw pictures together. You know, we can talk on the podcast together. Do anything you want when it takes to heal. But to be honest, I can promise you, and I manifest that that will be the very last time you talk about your ex. Okay? So come here with me, y'all. I promise it's gonna be lit. Think of me like Ayanla. But I'm not gonna be yelling in your face. I'm not gonna be yelling in your face, okay? And think of me of like the Long Island medium, but I'm from South Jersey, so yeah. we gonna get into it. We're gonna dig into your life. We're gonna go into your past life. We're gonna get into your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna get it done. We're gonna heal your heart. Ain't that right? But I'll see you guys next time in episode 10. Thank you for watching, listening, whichever.